What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. All right, so now that we're outside of the top five, I want to pick up the pace a little bit. But we're going to move on to number 6, the Philadelphia 76ers. Logan, are you higher or lower on the Philadelphia 76ers as a contender than you were before the season?
I am much higher on them. One thing that this has to do with is the James Harden trade. I wasn't anticipating being lower on Philadelphia. I thought they needed James Harden. I've now changed my stance on that. I think that Philadelphia in some ways is better without Harden. I think it has allowed a faster, more up-tempo team that just plays better in transition. I think it has allowed Tyrese Maxey to grow as a playmaker and as a lead ball handler. And everything just feels a lot more opened up. Like, I love James Harden. I love what he's doing in LA, but some possessions where, he's taking a couple extra dribbles or he's not moving the ball within the flow of the offense. I don't think they have those issues as much. There's not as much ball stopping. And then defensively, I really like Philadelphia. One, Embiid on the interior has been one of the best rim protectors in basketball, but I really like the personnel that they can throw at teams. Maxey's not a great defender, but he tries, right? He gives effort. I like Anthony Melton. I like Patrick Beverley as point of attack guys. They've got some size and athleticism on the wings. I legitimately buy Philly as a contender. Now, obviously, the biggest issue is Embiid, and if he's going to have these same woes that have plagued him in the playoffs. But I've seen legitimate growth from Embiid as a playmaker. I think he's playing more selfless team basketball. He's looking for other shots, and that's a big factor to me. Is I just don't think Embiid is going to disappear the way we've seen him in years previous. It could be easier said than done. It could happen again. I'm not anticipating it this year, and because of that, I legitimately buy the 76ers as contenders. I'm much higher on Philadelphia.
I'm much higher on them too. I felt pretty strongly this is a team that would win 50 games in the regular season just because Embiid is that sort of regular season force, and I have always been a Tyrese Maxey guy, and I thought that he could fill those shoes as an offensive number 2 and play really well, but I was not high on their postseason outlook. And I still don't like them in a series against Boston or Milwaukee, but I definitely like them more than I did coming into the year. Embiid is clearly better. He is the best as a shot maker that we've seen him. Last year was really good. I would argue this year has been even more consistently brilliant. And I saw a tweet today from NBA University that he leads the league in shots made from 15 to 19 feet and leads the league in field goal percentage from that range. He has just been devastating. And as a playmaker, hasn't just been better dissecting doubles and whatnot. He's been more involved across the board as a ball handler, has been more proactive just in his efforts to find and set up teammates. And there's 2 things that have consistently failed him in the playoffs. Actually, there's 4. There's his jump shot failing him. There's his playmaking failing him, where teams double him and he turns the ball over more than he assists his teammates. There's his health failing him, and there's his reliance on getting the line. So in the first 2 categories, he looks better now than ever before. The playoffs is a different arena, but I have more faith in him because of that. Maxey is much better than last year and is making the most of this opportunity. And then I think Nick Nurse is a real coaching upgrade. And I think that they nailed a couple of additions on the wings with Oubre and with Batum, who is still such a winning basketball player. And I undersold the value that he had for them when they got him in the Harden trade. I think that that has been a little bit of a hidden gem. So they're playing awesome. I definitely like them more.
The NBA season is in full swing, and when I can't get enough of the action on the court, I spice things up by betting on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. I was looking at the lines for making the playoffs today, and you can get the Lakers at plus 115 to make the playoffs, and the Warriors, check this out, at plus 205 to make the playoffs. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. The crown is yours. So I'm higher on the Sixers. The big thing that stood out to me was Tyrese Maxey being kind of somewhat of a question mark coming into the season. Like, would he be able to step into this much larger role? He's just straight up kicked ass. Like, it's been, I think if you were to put together a spectrum of all the different ways that the Maxey as the number 1 perimeter option could have gone, it could not have gone better than it's gone to this point in the season. He's one of the best shooters in the league while also being one of the fastest players in the league, which is just a deadly combination. He's starting to figure out too, just like all the same timing stuff in terms of getting Embiid into his spots that James Harden had. Embiid's just insanely good. The jump shot, it's weird because like he's making a lot more of his like face up jab step jump shots, but he's missing a lot more of his off the dribble jump shots that he made last year, right? So like it's weird because like the actual jump shot numbers are about where they were last year. It just looks different. And it will be curious to see if he can make them when they get to the postseason. I also think Daryl Morey just nailed the James Harden trade. Got a really useful player back in Nicholas Batum. Marcus Morris has been able to play and make some impact in small doses. But most importantly, they got draft compensation back. So I think they're in a position where they can make an additional move. This is one of my like sneaky teams that I'd love to see get a DeJounte Murray. Because when I imagine a lineup where the perimeter speed of a Tobias Harris, Nick Batum type of 3-4 is not quite as impactful. I love the idea of getting a DeJounte Murray to kind of be basically a better version of what DeAnthony Melton is for them. The other thing with DeJounte Murray is he brings yet another dribble drive guy that can keep the defense in rotation for a team that when DeJounte would have the ball would be surrounded by Embiid, who's been a deadly catch and shoot 3-point shooter this year. Maxey, who's a deadly catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Nick Batum, who's a deadly catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Like that's where I really like that kind of fit. That's the type of guy that I'd be keeping an eye on. For Philly, I have them down at 6 because I just think in a playoff series, Tyrese Maxey is your number one perimeter option in his first ever playoff run in that type of role. Could be in for some growing pains. Just like, you know, I had a mailbag question in my show that I did today where people were like, someone asked about Tyrese Halliburton. It's like, I think Tyrese Halliburton is a transcendently great player. I don't think he's going to go into the postseason and just kick everybody's ass right away. Like it takes time. You got to like that environment is very much is like a growing pains type of environment. But like if they hit the deadline, the Sixers are like one of those teams where if they make the right type of trade, I'd put them up with Boston and with Denver. That's how good I think Joel Embiid can be when he gets to the postseason. It's just, can he get there healthy and can he make his jump shot when he gets there? And Embiid strikes me as one of those guys too that like when he breaks through, he's going to shatter through and like suddenly it's going to be like, he just it's going to be like someone in the YouTube comments said like Dirk like a Dirk-esque playoff run. That's kind of the way I look at it, where it's like he just has this reputation of being a playoff underperformer, and then when it goes right, he's just too good to not break through eventually. It's just going to be a question of when.